Pooter. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Recapping the Elite. This is Doc here with my man, cousin Cisel, here to talk about some more AEW action for the week. How's it going?
Hey, it's doing good, and nothing like knowing that we set up this podcast on a second week of like a lackluster AEW. But yes, I'm glad to be here.
All I can do is, I fucked up trimming my beard, and now I'm just looking. It's like, my God, I'm gray. I'm Don Callis's chubby son here. That was big props. As much as I know, I think you and I disagree. As boring as I find Christian Cage, I love when he calls Callis a carny piece of shit. That's the highlight of my TV week for some reason.
No, yeah, it was. I will say this week's promos were better than last week's, so that's good. And then also the wrestling is like, it goes into a par of like, it can only be great or good. And I think this week was good for AEW wrestling.
Did you notice? I think Mark Henry, who I'll say it again, death on the mic, but he seems to be amusing himself. Like, not to get ahead, but I have to say this or I'll forget it. When during the joke main event on Rampage, Callis had on, which I personally love, his bubblegum pink suit, and Mark Henry was like, he looks like bubblegum. And then like Taz actually kind of chuckled, and a little while later Henry was just like, he was proud, so he's like, he looks like Pepto-Bismol, but nobody laughed, and so he finally shut up. But it was like, God, Mark. But then again, I mean, I felt sorry for anybody. You can't get a word in edgewise with Jericho on that commentary team. He's like Daffy Duck.
Yeah, I'll get into that more when we get into Rampage. But maybe it's because the first one pre-recorded.
I don't know. They did all the dark. It was live. They just like recorded, I think, like dark and some other shit. So people were entertained I shouldn't say entertained. According to my buddy that was there, they were there for 2 hours waiting for CM Punk.
Right, that was the first dance one, but I didn't know if the first episode
there was
pre-recorded.
It might have been. I'm not 100% sure. I would. The first one was God, I don't even remember the first one. We're 3 weeks in, and the first one's already a blur to me.
The first one was Kenny Omega and Christian, Christian wins the belt there.
That was the match.
Yep, and Miro and Fuego gets his contract, and then the other one was the Britt Baker against Red Velvet with Jamie Hayter reappearing. But then I just didn't know if that was pre-recorded, because that goes into last night's episode. I didn't know it was pre-recorded. And then like a buddy of mine at work, he didn't spoil it, but he's like, I don't even know if I'm going to watch, because I already seen the results on accident on the internet. So I'm like, I wonder how many more people had that same problem, or had that same outcome happen to them. They're like, I'm going to watch something that's already recorded, because like how they made the first 2 episodes live. Come and watch it. We're gonna, like, things are gonna happen. That's where it gets my conversation going. The best part of Dynamite, I think, was the first match, and not because of the ring, because of the Milwaukee Bucks' Giannis was like, he's so tall, he looked like it looked like watching Mystery Theater 3000. Like he was in the corner, and he's a big fan. Like, there's multiple videos of him in the locker rooms doing stone cold shit with his partners, or like, just things around, and always had a belt on him before, like the WWE one, but he got an AEW one last night. But the idea that he was selling it with the crowd, and it was like cool to see. And he see even Ray Phoenix, like, look at Giannis, like for little moments, like, oh, it was 2, and it was good to have the right fans there for a celebrity to be there. It was fun.
And it's also pleasant that no one attacked said celebrity or started an angle, or that to me, that's always kind of refreshing.
Yes,
when that happens. No, I thought I thought overall it was not a great week, and I think when you're 2 weeks out of a pay-per-view, which I've got a pay-per-view prediction, I'll make it at the very, very end, but there wasn't a lot. I mean, my God, last night they announced another match for a show that's a week out, and I mean, I'll get to that too, but it's a match no one cares about other than maybe Lana. But, I mean, I don't. Big props to Miro, though, for always going, my beautiful wife, my hot wife. I like how he always references her. I just wish she was still the best man. I hate this gimmick where he thinks he's a wrestling god. I don't know why. I just hate it.
I don't mind it. And then that I was assuming our next episode will even try to do like make fake results and like see how we do, like, because obviously we're going to be Saturday and it'll be right before All Out. We'll get the whole card. We'll break down. We think this, see how we do. Cause I know that you're pretty quick on the upload. We'll have it on by that night or even like the morning of All Out.
Oh yeah. The minute like we quit, I go and work out. And so like before I do, I click the process button and then I just kind of circle back and forth throughout the day. And yeah, by the evening it's up. So yeah, we'll definitely have we'll be up before next Saturday. We'll be up before Game Changer, The Art of War, which I got to plug because, I'm a Game Changer mark. Did you happen to see, but real quick, a shout out I got to give. Did you happen to see when Joey Janella retweeted my son this week?
No, I did not. I wish I did, or I can't say I did. I want to see it.
Here where I live, it's mandatory to wear a mask in school. I agree with that. Sorry if I've offended you. I do. Anyone, I agree with that. My son's only 12. He's vaccinated, but he wears a mask. Well, Pro Wrestling Tees sells all the wrestling masks. And he has a Joey Janela. He loves Joey Janela, especially after the Cracker Barrel fight. And so he has the, just the normal ones. This is the bad boy Joey Janela. It's like a skeleton face, and the skeleton has a cigarette.
Yeah.
And when we picked him up from school, the mask was turned inside out. And my wife's like, what's going on? He's like, well, I got in trouble. I can't wear it. They said it was
because of the cigarette.
I assume because of the cigarette. Yeah, but they were like, yeah, it was offensive. So he felt like really, really bad. So I took a picture of him and I just tweeted. I was like, really pissed off right now. I was like, my son wore and I tagged him. It was like the Joey Janela mask, and I'm proud of him for wearing it. And Janelle caught it. He saw it and he retweeted it, and he was like, he DM me. He's like, and I'll send your son a whole bunch of shit he can get in trouble with. And like within an hour, my son had like 660 something likes, retweets. People kept commenting, I'll mail your kids cigarettes and just all kind of shit. But Janela did actually reach out to me and asked me what my son's size was and everything. Said he was going to send him some stuff. So that made my son's day. So the next day he had to retire that mask from school, but he's still got Darby, the Dark Order, Mox, Orange. So he's still good there. But no Janela masks in school, unfortunately. That's
really awesome to say. I've had Joey, he retweeted mine one time. It was just I was just more selling the whole little him and Sonny turn on each other. Because I like Sonny. And so I'm like, that son of a bitch, Joey Janela. And it was during that time before they officially, he's like, no, we're not turning. And like, he replied to mine. I'm like, okay, sure. And then 3 weeks later, this like the last thing that we saw with Sonny and Janela on Dark. Dirty son of a bitch. No.
Oh, I like Joey. I think he's talented, and I'm mad props for and Corny Jim there when he he says, oh, that Joey Nutella, the Outlaw Mud Show, and then I loved how Game Changer Wrestling did a pay-per-view special in a rodeo barn called the Outlaw Mud Show. That was genius. I loved it.
Maybe there are some things in the sand about this last Rampage that might, because I felt this one wasn't so fastly high octane compared to the other ones, so that might be good in theory. And then like maybe we can actually get some actual storylines with like decent promos, not just teasing a fucking pay-per-view in a week, but that we can like we can get some actual like some of these start, like Joey Janela. He's not been in the TV light for, I think last time he was on it was like I think they had him for a match after he hurt Sonny. Okay. But the idea that he's usually like that guy, someone injured, throw in Joey in and he'll help run the show of that match. I'm like, okay. So I'm hopefully. I think I never thought I was going to say this, but I think AEW they need to work on some like their balancing act of some of these characters. They have a lot of potential people. They're not using them, and like WWE, people are complaining about creativity or whatever it is, and they jump ship. AEW is starting to go down that same path, I think, in
Yeah,
some spots, not all, but some.
like in Janelle, and I'm not just saying this because he retweeted me. Janelle is talented. Janelle is
Yeah,
very talented. Janelle was on pay-per-views. I want Janela on TV. I don't need to see fucking Fiego del Sol on TV. Let's get Janela. Why are the goddamn varsity blondes on my TV all the time?
yeah,
Let's get some of these other guys. Let's get the fucking Serpentico on there. There's so many people that they have now. They don't know what to do with. And I don't want to watch a YouTube show. I don't want to watch AEW Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't watch anything that much.
yeah. They're even for a moment, like okay, even a talent like Sheeta, she lost the belt. Have not. She's only been on YouTube now. They haven't even have a rebuttal about losing the belt. Just all right, start doing dark matches, get back up there to the top. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't unless they just want to record as much content as humanly possible and in another year try to do a network, which I don't think that would work. WWE not only has 50 years of TV, they have ECW, Smoky Mountain, WCW, NW. I mean, they have a lot. There's a lot on there to watch.
they got Southpaw. No,
Hey, that's some good stuff. That's but I thought AEW for this week. I thought the opening match on Dynamite was awesome. And that was probably my personal favorite of everything this week. My man, freshly squeezed, Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy, and I loved. I hate Big Money Matt. I don't like the character. I like Broken, and I loved when Orange would kick him. The little tip tap, and everybody go, oh, and then he'd go delete, delete. I like that throwback to the delete. And think about it, they worked 3 or 4 minutes. A little kick, ooh, delete. I mean, they worked it. Matt's a good wrestler. Matt's a genius. And I thought they worked a hell of a good match. In my opinion, I really liked it.
no, I liked it too. I do not like the Big Money either, but also only because it just feels out of place when you've had what 5-year stretch of a broken version of Matt Hardy who's worked and it's sold, and like then like he's doing I'm Big Money Matt, and then also taken out with the fans saying delete. I'm like, it don't make no sense in my eyes. Now, if you wouldn't have liked it at that moment in time, but if he was going to be Big Money Matt, he should have dropped $100 each kick.
Yeah,
that would be pretty funny. And like I did like that he stopped and he picked up the money again. But I must have turned my head.
I like that Orange stole $100. Matt took it out of his pocket. That was great.
Yeah, I might have turned my head, but like, where did he get hurt on the sun salt?
Yeah, it's just when his face hit, like he ate that canvas, and his nose. I mean, you could tell within about a second that he busted it. I think he even commented it was like the 9th or the 19th time he's busted his nose in his career. But and he still win. He still had a good 7 or 8 minutes to go. Sucking air. Yeah. But I mean, Orange was drenched in his blood.
Yeah, but no, I didn't know if Orange's body smacked it. No, Matt fell and he hit his own face.
Yeah, his own head just hit and ate it, and just simple slip. It's kind of like when the from FTR when he got hurt. How just total fluke. Your arm catches something. It's just it seems like some of the bloodiest injuries are just the simplest, just simple mistake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was just gonna say, like, it just shows Matt's age or something. Like his body was ready to like it was a bloodbath looking. But it was good. He also is obviously professional and also a veteran, so he ran the whole match after. No, it was a really good match, like you said.
The pinfall with the hands in the pockets. I don't know why. I love the hands in the pockets. That's awesome to me.
No, I I wonder if they're gonna sell it like when Orange does it as like you can't get out of that. Um, so we'll see. It was good, and also like again, it's an all right story. It's running to its I think it's running its course, but also it's a story. But it was a great match from a story.
See, and you hit the nail on the head when you said his age. That's why another reason I really like the broken gimmick, because you did those cinema matches. And
Yeah.
and that's why I thought it was so smart to do the one with Sting and Darby, especially a guy like Matt. Nothing against him, but he's getting up there. You do these cinema matches, you can spend two days to 2 weeks filming this stuff. You have less chance for injury, but you can make it look a lot neater. So I think that actually helps too when they get up there.
Well, yeah, look at what happened last time. There was a live match with him, just they fucking speared himself onto the floor because he guess he can't know how to put his chin in his chest or something.
No, Guevara fucked him. I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And I like Guevara. But no, I like Matt. I really liked that match with Cassidy. I would very easily I'd give it an A. I have no problem saying that, but let's keep in mind I'm an orange mark, so he's automatically going to get an extra bump from me.
I think I'll give it B plus, A minus, like a very close. Like, well, I'm gonna say B plus. It was good, but just I think it just brought out the idea of like for me, it was a story pointless match. They might have a story going on, but it's just filler until we get over. Like we need to get some more. Like we just said before, we started breaking it down. Like there's a lot of potential. We could have. I would almost, you know, what I mean, Joey Janela versus Orange Cassidy sounds like a sell it compared to let's have a gang of the Hardy family organization, or whatever it is, have everybody who's not part of a gang right now put together just to get mad at Orange Cassidy. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and some of this stuff like runs its course. Like, how many weeks do we watch Orange get hit with the Nux? I mean, that I think it only happened maybe it was 3 weeks in a row. It seemed like 7 months. You know, there's as much as I love Orange with that gimmick, there's only so much you can do with it. So the feud with Jericho worked, but the feuds he's had with the Hardy family, I don't know. I'd like you said, I'd rather see him fight a Janela, a Darby, somebody that he can actually, because he can wrestle. I'd like to see him fight somebody more that he can actually go with.
I think even for just I don't even have their track records behind to talk about them, but like I'd even more be interested to see him have like a bout and like bring up those the two guys that are together in there. One of them's a hardcore match, like veteran. He does like he puts it and he has the little I forgot his name, but they're a tag team together, and
he's with Serpentico, Chaos
Victor
or something like that.
Yeah, Chaos Theory.
Yeah, Luther.
Like, not saying he's good, but the idea of like I think they could have like they could make a story with the psychoness going against the cool freshly squeezed, like compared to having I'm Big Money Man, and then everyone went but
there was no transition. It was just broken Matt Hardy next week, Big Money Matt. There was no I don't know. I guess Tony Khan liked the idea of him being Big Money Matt. I don't know. I think up next, you said the promos were a little lacking. We were talking. I thought this was not a good promo. It was a segment where now we got Jericho coming in, and now he needs one more match. And if he can't beat MJF this time, he's gonna retire. And then MJF came out, and I thought I was falling asleep during this.
I was gonna say it felt even the crowd was a little dead. The MJF sold it really good because obviously he's very great on the mic.
Yes.
But this whole idea of having Jericho out, and then if he's not wrestling, no one gives a fuck about him talking just because the presentation of AEW sells itself like Jericho's fighting. So, it's some kind of, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like you had 5 weeks of him fighting people with a week notice for fans to know. So that he comes out and he does his whole promo, which was but the idea of MJF, I'm more impressed not impressed. I'm more surprised they're doing a retire match when they just had a possible retiring storyline starting with Cody. I don't know if that's why, maybe that's why they're stopping that for a second and letting Cody be gone and let that just have that little marinate somewhere so we can have the more current live version with Chris Jericho happen. Do I see Jericho? Maybe that's also why. Do you see Jericho actually retiring off this match?
He's going on tour with his band for a few months. There's this away from TV. This is as dumb as this sounds. This is what I think happened. Now, if you go back and they said the 5 labors of Jericho, Jericho has to do 5 things before he can fight me. He only did 4. They fucked up. He had the match with Wardlow. He had the match with Hoovy. He had the match with Spears, and he had the match with Gage. See, then he fought MJF. I think they're like, oh, fuck. He should have fought one more person than him and MJF were at the pay-per-view. We fucked this up bad. Because that's the only thing I can think of, because the whole thing was if he lost, he could never bother MJF again. And then right the next week, I need one more match.
Look like a crackhead.
They messed up. Something fell through, and they have to have another match. And yeah, I would hope MJF wins. MJF should win. He's 25. He's not 52. He needs to win. But 2, then just put Jericho on the commentating. Or if that, like I said, he's going on tour with his band. So I don't know. I thought their match stunk. I don't want to see them fight anymore. This thing has run its course beyond end. I mean, it started over a year and a half ago when MJF wanted to join the Inner Circle. I like long-term storytelling, but fuck, we've had Blood and Guts, we've had Stadium Stampede, we have the 5. Enough is enough. Be done.
Yeah. For people who are just getting into listening to us, for like you said, that same Stampede was supposed to be like a big thing because that brought the Inner Circle back together, kind of, I believe. And then they had to go against Pinnacle. And like the idea of just having them come back together unified, and then we have now Jericho doing a separate storyline away from them, and now all they do now, the Inner Circle now is basically biker vests. They're not really doing they're just a material thing lately. And then I just more let's go more in the current. It just doesn't sound right, especially for our Chris Jericho, to say he's going to retire unless, like, it goes into that idea. Like, you have to take your step back. You really think with that on the line, you think that means Jericho's going to lose? I don't know. Now, how you said, he's just going to go on tour. But I'm just going by AEW usually, like how Cody said, if I lose, I'm never going to go for the title ever. Okay. Unless they're trying to marinate and wait for like the fans to turn and say, yeah, Cody, go for the title. I don't know. So unless they're going to do that with Jericho and say, Jericho said he's never going to wrestle. And we're going to get those teases of him step up to the ring and go, oh yeah, I remember, and walk back to the announcer table. So I might just talk my way into thinking that might be something we see on TV, but I just don't know. I don't know if that's I don't think it was a good story plot to say I'm going to retire if I lose.
No, and like MJF, I think A+ for his talking ability. I give him like a C for his work rate. Most of his matches in the ring, he's not bad, but he's nothing special. He had good matches with Cody because Cody carried him. But like his matches with Jericho, and it's not a knock on Jericho, much like Hardy. Jericho's older now. He's in his 50s. He needs to be with a younger guy that can carry him. Yeah, MJF is good, but he's not, I'm going to carry you to a match good. He's not. So their match was just boring unless they're going to, the only way this match will be good is if they gimmick it up where there's a lot of blood and stuff like that, which, Jericho ain't afraid to bleed, but
neither is MJF.
I don't think it's a match anyone cares about.
I think you had a better storyline for a minimalistic one. If Chris Jericho says, I'll quit the Inner Circle and join the Pinnacle.
Yeah.
And then the Pinnacle, and then he win, and then have Jericho look like a lapdog for, however they want to run it for a little bit. But yeah, it was just, I think it goes into them holding back a lot of secrets with like CM Punk coming in, which we'll talk about in Dynamite, a tease for another person coming. The idea of, I don't know if they just had too many cards at their chest and they forget which card they're pulling out right now. And we keep getting like you said, we're now, by the end of this recording, we'll be like 5 days away or 6 days away from the pay-per-view. And we got another add-on this week. Are we going to get another add-on on Wednesday? Which we are, because then we'll find out who's the official tag team. Or no, we know it's.
We found that out last night.
But we'll see the card now. It shows in the steel cage and all that shit.
Because Pro Wrestling Tees has to make Pro Wrestling Tees. Darby Allin has to make a shirt for every fucking match on a pay-per-view. So maybe that's why, like, guys, we got to get at least 12 matches, because then that's 12 shirts we can sell, because every match has a T-shirt, for God's sakes.
I don't know. But
did you notice MJF had on just a shirt that he clearly did with a marker, and it was like MJF 3 Jera Blow 0. Guess what notification I got from Pro Wrestling Tees yesterday? You can buy that fucking shirt for $25.
I mean, they're just working with gold. Like, because look, they have CM Punk now that CM Punk AEW shirt is now the highest sold T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees ever. And like people say, it's beat the 7-year victor of the Bullet Club now. But like, they're just working with, they just love being next to AEW, and it's been working for them. So I'm happy for them, but also I didn't know. I'm like, they have a white shirt that says MJF
3 Jera Blow 0. Yep, already for. I mean, my God, when Malachi Black debuted, I get the push notification on my phone. It's 5 minutes into his debut. Malachi Black shirt now available. Oh, come, at least wait till the next day. I mean. No, I thought the next match was pretty good. It was I'm gonna get it right. It was the Lucha Brothers took on the Varsity Blondes, and I hate the Varsity Blondes. I think they stink. I think the Julie Hart is super hot, and she's 19, so it's not dirty, even though she looks really young. And the thing is that you hear that of all the AEW people Vince McMahon is really interested in, it's Brian Pillman Jr., and that's got to just be because of the name, because they're not like a horrid team. I don't want to see them on TV. They're a YouTube. They're dark. They're Elevation. They had a good match with the Lucha Brothers, but Pentagon and Phoenix have a good match with a broom. It was a good match. It was just how they got put into this tag team thing is beyond me.
I think this at least goes into, which I am not defending, but at least the idea that it shows AEW does follow like your victors, and they've been winning on Dark and Elevation, like you said, but they are very young, because even with but also I think it involves different wrestling styles. Like you said, there were spots with the Varsity Blondes in the Dynamite show. I'm like, either they're not ready to work with some of these high caliber people, which they could be, or just maybe like, maybe they are used to stopping at like a roundhouse kick to the head. Maybe they're used to, it's going to hop up here, and like, they're going to pretend like, oh, boom. And then like Pentagon might have fucked up and hit closer to the chin chest area. And then they're like, and then they just are kind of stunned to say, is this my spot? Am I supposed to sell here? And like, it could be from being a little greenhorn, you know what I mean? And then also like, but yeah, I don't know about the Varsity Blonde, besides I'm like, are they getting pushed because of what I would have thought would have been I would have thought the Acclaim would have been the Varsity Blonde spot.
Yeah.
Well, then obviously the oopsie with the again. I think you said last week you think that was actually just a way to get them off so that they can have a time off. But at the same time, if that's the case, they ruin their own story, in my opinion.
We always joke because my son's a Pentamark. I'm a Pentamark. And my son has, we counted it, 17 Penta shirts. I have about 5 Penta face masks. I got about 10 Phoenix face masks. I've got a couple Penta shirts. And if you think about it, like Penta's way more over than Phoenix. And Phoenix he does everything. Phoenix is probably pound for pound, my opinion, best in the world right now. Penta, although he can wrestle for the most part, just does the two, he does hardly anything. And my son's always like, and he always points it out, he's like, this one does nothing compared to that one. But look how much cooler he is. And then you got Alex there who just goes, Penta says. I mean, this guy's getting a paycheck just to say Penta says. I mean, but they're so over. They need to be. I know they already got the AAA tag titles. They need those. They need the AEW titles. Time for the Bucks to get rid of those belts. And Lucha Brothers, I mean, they're the ones that should have it. I mean, like I said, the Varsity Blondes, in my opinion, ain't that good of a team. They had fucking great match with the Lucha Brothers. You and I would have a great match with the Lucha Brothers.
Yes. I was going to say, I was actually very surprised because I wasn't expecting that. I was happy with Rampage results because of it. Because I feel bad for this Rampage. I watched it on my phone. I didn't get to watch it on my TV, so I was like sitting there, and then at the verdict of the first match of Rampage, I went, yeah, like I just was. It just so I'm like, yes, that's the people I want to like. They both deserve it. Even Jurassic Express, they deserve it. But I was like, Lucha Brothers need it too because also like they finally get back into like how the pandemic probably slowed them down. They probably couldn't do a lot of traveling back and forth. They probably were getting a lot more money. Highlighting AAA for this during this pandemic shit compared to the AEW shit. But I was like, yes, because I know for a fact Ray Phoenix is going to make that steel cage look like a bounce house, like one of those Ray Phoenix will make it look like, oh, is there a big giant fan underneath, like one of those like tube fans, like people do like the fake skydiving in.
Yeah.
He'll be running around that thing like Spider-Man during fighting Bone Crusher, Bone Skull, whatever it was in the first you got 3 minutes of playtime.
Well, and the thing is in even the Bucks, I mean, one of the best AEW matches of all time was that Lucha Brothers versus the Bucks ladder match. I was tired at the end of that match. I mean, in the Bucks, I was saying again, best team in the world. I think that they're due to quit winning every week, but I mean it's money, right? It's big money, money right there. That's the match.
Yes, it got me excited. I'm like, okay, there we go. We're gonna have I just hope because of the Lucha Brothers they have a lot of crap, but also like they don't have like that. They don't look like they have the passion, not the passion, but like in story wise, it doesn't seem like they're going to be really okay. We got them down. Let's get over the fucking cage. The fucking Young Bucks will probably have a pulley system with Brian Caster, that's his name.
Yeah.
He'll be like on the other side throwing a fucking rope and like pulling them up like for a gimmick or something, which would be funny. That'd be also funny. We'll see. I'm really hoping this is the chance like Young Bucks give it up, but we'll see. I'm on they're selling me, so I'm hoping it's the Lucha Brothers.
I mean, I think the greatest promotion in the history of wrestling was Lucha Underground, and I was a Pentamark back then, and even Phoenix. Phoenix was an afterthought there. I mean, he was good, but he had goofy storylines. He was a mid carder, low mid card, and to see them together now, it's like I said, even a Lucha Underground, Penta just most popular guy, there, and
it's the mask.
My son has masks of him. Actually, they're on mannequin heads. I mean,
Do you have the Joker version that he had last night?
no, he has the lip. It was the limited edition from Pro Wrestling Tees, the shirt with him in the Joker costume. That was, I think, about a month ago. He does have that one. We haven't found the Joker mask yet, though.
That it's how, because like it's the whole gimmick. Because like when
My
he
son's
came over,
convinced that every
I knew
time he
that.
wears that, he wins. So he's hoping he wears it in the cage.
Oh yeah, okay.
Now that was good. Then the next match, Red Velvet, she stinks, against Jamie Hayter. She's hot. She stinks. I have to. I'll say it again. AEW, they have the indie mentality of every match has to go at the shortest 10 minutes. And the majority of the match is 15, 20 minutes. Jamie Hayter and Red Velvet, that's 5 minutes. That's your bathroom match. And I'm not insulting either one, but I didn't need no 10, 12 minutes of that with considering, Hayter's going to win. I was bored to tears.
It was definitely for story wise for new listeners. Jamie Hayter just came in and she's a brick house now. Like that, she has. If you want to look at someone from a pandemic transformational person, go look at Jamie Hayter before the pandemic and look at her now. She looks like a brand new person. And like, congratulations to her for just, I guess, in a very layman's term, for two fat guys that talking on a podcast, getting healthy and like she's ripped now. And then I seen a lot of people this match was really rough. Red Velvet looked very rusty compared to, she just had a championship match. And then she goes into this is a squash match, but she looked really rough. And then some people were like, did they change the dimensions of the ring? Like, did they make a bigger ring? Because like looks like some of their like running moments took forever to get from side to side or corner to corner, whatever you want to call it, for the spots, or like even like them trying to do like the girl falls in the corner and they want to go from the other corner and do like the big boot into the face like shit. It just felt like they were taking multiple steps, like the ring got bigger on them. And the best spot on that match was during a commercial where Jamie Hayter was able to fling Red Velvet into the guardrails, and like it looked like a meme, like Jamie Hayter threw a rag doll, like in Red Velvet's in midair going and get smacked the guardrail and look and I'm like, wow. And that's more sad about, that's the best spot to then just bing bang boom squash. Let's bring out Chris Statlander, who's good.
Oh yes, she's
for
good.
The promo.
I like her.
Jamie Hayter is good too. I know you said you didn't like her this spot, but like during those early AEWs back when it was her and then the other English girl that's her tag match or her tag team champ who is dating Will Ospreay. Forgot her name, but she's the one, like they share a tag belt for like a different promotion. But they were in AEW at the early times before they started like collecting more girls and like, actually have a real roster. Then the pandemic happened and they had just parted ways. Jamie Hayter was doing good then, but like last night's just more, let's slowly show her that she's got some power and like get her into that storyline. But then obviously keep her out of the battle royale that's going to happen this Sunday. Like, I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. Why didn't you have Hayter fight Statlander? I know Statlander's got the title match at the pay-per-view, but that could have been the first match. Maybe Hayter gives her a good beat and Statlander's not at full capacity. At least advance the storyline a little bit. Plus,
that might happen on Dynamite. It could happen at Dynamite because we don't, they could hopefully do a more logical promotion booking to get to a pro, like, hey, you want to fight the champ? Let's get you go through the bodyguard.
Yeah.
Like, boom. Very simple, but we do have 2 more shows, so we can see if that happens, but it is very logical. They should have. But we'll see. Most likely we'll probably get what it looks like might get a tag match of Chris Statler and Red Velvet versus Hayter and Britt Baker this week, but who knows?
Them, as JR would say, I thought that match was bowling shoe ugly. Then the next thing was what people were waiting for. It was CM Punk's Dynamite debut, where he cut a promo. Apparently, if you looked at his shoes, he had an AC drawn on it for Adam Cole. But my thing with Punk is Punk don't need anybody to leak. I don't need to see Shivani and his 70-year-old ass with those diamond earrings. So unless QT Marshall, my man in bowling shirts, is dumping shit on him. Punk's beauty is that he can just take a microphone like Raven used to. You just take a microphone and you talk. I didn't need him being, and he was kind of pandering. I didn't like that. The like, I can't hear you, Tom. There's something about it I didn't care for. But to his credit, I like how when everybody was saying yes, and he went, that's somebody else's gimmick. You got to save that. I liked his little insider references, but that interview, in my opinion, it needed to be Punk comes out and then Darby comes out, because you got to sell the pay-per-view. Let's have them maybe, I'm not saying yell at each other or pull apart, but a little face to face. Like, I can't wait to fight you, because they're both faces. A little something just to come out and be like, oh, the crowd's cheering me again. It was like, well, if you're going to bring this guy out every week for this, it's going to get old fast, and people are going to turn on it.
I will say it nicely so we can get on the same page. I think this promo was terrible only because it was a rinse and repeat of the first one. They obviously, like you said, there's no progression. It was just him stretching it out. Like, hold on, guys, let Tony talk so I can finish it. We have a time limit. And like, it goes into, there's a YouTube clip of what happened after the Rampage show where he comes out with CM Punk comes out with Christian and Kaz, and just kind of, I don't know if he's doing it just for a gimmick or whatever, but like CM Punk's like really going like, you like me, you really like me.
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
I'm like, you buddy, you have a gentleman, and they've been using this guy's face since that day, tearing up that you came back. Don't act like you don't know that people have been saying your name for 7 years when you've not been on a show. Don't act like you haven't, please.
Hottest selling shirt ever.
Yeah,
you have fans.
yeah, but like the idea of you hated a company and that your fans still chant your name at that company because of you. You know what I mean? So please don't act like AEW is definitely, like we said last week, we are smart fans. So please don't act dumb. Like, don't treat us dumb or like act like you need like that boasting. Like, you really think I can do it? Yes. Just shut up. Just get some stories and like pretend, get into that mode of, what you want to do. Don't have to be like bantering.
You know what I'm surprised didn't come out the next day? A shirt with Punk and Shivani on it and said, I can't hear you, Tony. It was. I'm really surprised they didn't make a shirt of that fucking thing. But yeah, just for some odd reason, when he came down, I was like, all right, here's Punk. I like Punk personality song and everything. But he's like, I can't hear you. For me, it was just like, this isn't very good. Like you said, rinse, repeat. It's this. And I think I'll give the same promo to a different city tonight. It was lazy.
And like you go into because like you said, we should have had like that UFC moment of like the face to face. They could be faces. They could have shook hands right there. Just say, I'm ready. I'll see you Sunday. Or what would have been a great t-shirt, have Sting walk in front and do like that stare down he's been doing, and like the do like the eye to eye, just because he's always been to Darby and like whatever. But the idea of they could have even done like this, fucking just do too sweet, just to keep it face, whatever. But we do need that face to face. I don't need to have Darby and Sting up in the rafters every single time they say their name. Now they need to come out to the ring and like just do a promo, like help Darby get some mic work. Then he does fine tape shit, like how he did the best in the world and all that shit, but get him that in ring. heat of the moment promo. Like, I'm ready for Darby's rebuttal about this match. Hopefully we get it this week, but also at the same time, like we should have had it this week.
Are you on Facebook?
No, not really.
I had the AEW fans, and this is shocking. These are the AEW fans I'm talking about. I had them in an uproar on the Facebook message boards. I wrote an article why CM Punk has a better UFC record than Brock Lesnar. Oh my God, I had nothing but I had to turn off notifications. Thank you, AEW fans, for giving me an extra 12,873 hits on my website in 2 days. But I mean, I just thought I would share this, that Brock Lesnar has 4 losses in the UFC. CM Punk has 1 loss because the other loss was overturned to a failed drug test. 1 lost 4 times, 1 lost once. And like I said, some of those victories were because Paul Heyman was putting chloroform on Brock Lesnar's gloves, and there was obviously some crooked officiating. But, I was surprised how the AEW fans were like, fuck you. Brock Lesnar's way better. Brock Lesnar kills. It's like, whoa, I'm talking about your hero here. What's the hate? I thought I'd have all the backing. I thought that was a little ironic there that all his UFC people turned on him. 1 loss. That's it.
That's pretty. I'm more. Congratulations on your little heel post right there, because that's pretty funny. Because
it was a troll post.
Right here.
It was a troll article. 100%. I admit it was a troll article.
But it just more. Did you just make that up about the possible chloroform fist thing? Because like
as I was writing, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, when he choked out Shane Carwin, Paul Heyman put chloroform, and then Paul Heyman used his parents' money from the lawsuit to pay off. Just all kinds of dumb shit. I was like really bored, and I started writing this, and people were like, they were mad, like genuinely. I had heat, and it was kind of like, and some people got it. A lot of people on my site, they got it. They thought it was just kind of funny, but yeah, on the AEW boards, people were like getting mad, and I thought for sure they'd be like, hell yeah, Punk would kill him with to go to sleep and all that. But it didn't work. Turns out AEW fans prefer Brock Lesnar, I guess.
I think it's probably just involved. I wonder if it involves that pro wrestling UFC banter. And then also there was that a quick moment where Brock had no contract. And people are like, he's coming. No. But like, you've got me with that, just because like I was like in my head, I'm like thinking, Paul Heyman's not involved with UFC. What is this going on? I'm like, okay. But no, it was that's a good troll post. It
was a troll post. I mean, because all kidding aside, Lesnar, athlete all his life. CM Punk, guy that wrestled, did some judo moves, did the gimmick, thought he was a tough guy, got his ass beat. I mean, there's the untroll version. And if they were to fight in real life, it's about Lesnar a 2-second fight. Lesnar is a tough man. And I wouldn't fuck with him. He might not have the strongest jaw in the world, but getting to that jaw is not going to be easy with that wrestling background.
No, he'll come at you, and you think it's a white gorilla how fast he gets up to the ground. And like, nah.
Well, he just left the UFC because he didn't want to be over there when Punk was there. He thought he'd go and fight the old man Mark Calloway for some made up title, but that was just more trolling. But after that trolling plug, we had a tree, and I like how AEW calls them trios matches. I'm a Lucha Libre mark, so I like how I'm a 6-man when they call them trios. And I actually have to look because I forget these guys' names. It was Moxley, Darby, and Death in the Ring Kingston against the Wingmen, which is Drake, Bonet, and Nemeth. Why they're on TV, I have no fucking idea. They could have just continued the angle from a week ago. But
Pretty Peter's out there being their manager right now, and like they do a lot of they're part of the being the elite for listeners. So if you want to see more of like the Wingman, they are on the more YouTube / the vlogs with the elite. But yeah,
my son loves being the elite, but only when the Dark Order show up, which real quick, they kind of teased again the Dark Order breaking up. And another thing, because half of them are mad that they didn't Uno and 10, they don't want to help Page because he said leave him alone. My man, John Silver, and they want to help Page. It really makes no sense. It comes off across kind of dumb, but Dark Order's Comedy Gang, that was quick. They did the little tease. I don't know what that. Maybe it's just done to speculate that Bray Wyatt's coming in, but they did that before our big hot trios match that served no purpose whatsoever other than to have Moxley walk through the crowd.
Yeah, it goes into lazy booking for right before a pay-per-view. And then how would I word it? They obviously are very into making sure they're not the WWE style, but something helps sell tickets there. And like I think you get in some of these matches that should have happened. Like, okay, well, I'll take a step back. WWE usually, when a pay-per-view happens on the TV, we see a lot of interactions of the people that are going to be involved at the pay-per-view. I'm not saying we should have those buddy matches or like the matches of like, oh, you guys got to work together for this tag team this one time, and then the other one they work to, they fight it off the next week, all that dumb shit. But the idea of if you had John Moxley and Eddie Kingston come out through the crowd just for like, they treat AEW sometimes, they act like they're at a concert. We have the Judas play, everyone sing along to the Judas, woo! And then they have, all right, call the personality now, woo! Guess what? Here it comes. And then John Moxley walks out.
Now they're singing Wild Thing.
And now they're singing Wild Thing. And then they also now have Jungle Boy's new one that has like, it's the old song. That old song.
Yeah.
Like, I know that gets people pumped up, but like, you guys have good wrestling. You guys don't have to be this gimmick brand of like, we're going to, have a dance party going on. People hated, like, I know you have people singing, but like, you're literally putting yourself in the same category as like what's that guy? Not Adam Page, but the guy who had the party train that like Braun Strowman used to be like the big bunny on WWE.
Oh, Adam Rose.
Adam Rose. Like, you don't need the dance party session to keep people fast and loose during your guys' 4 hours of taping dark matches. But like you said, it was not involved into what? So that you find out those trio Darby's with CM Punk, which then we knew about last week. Eddie Kingston got called out by Miro, and then this week they said, yep, it's going to be on All Out. Okay. And then they found out Moxley has a New Japan actual person coming over for the All Out, which is I don't have no connections with New Japan. I just heard like obviously he's good, but he's not part of the conversation in New Japan now, right?
I don't know. I don't follow their show. I know a few names, but yeah, I don't even know if I get it anymore. I haven't even seen it on TV in a while.
I know. Do you have offhand with your papers right there? What's his matches? Who's he fighting at All Out?
I don't know if it's been confirmed. Let's see.
Oh, they had the card out last night. They showed it. It's something, I just don't remember the gentleman's name, but all I know is it's not one of the original people he called out before.
Yeah, because he's had a couple. Let's see. All Out 2021 matches.
Because like I knew that he wanted the guy who's the
John Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. It doesn't sound like the person he was calling out earlier, but
yeah,
that's
like this week he asked for that Kojima guy. Yeah, that's his name.
My thing too is Eddie Kingston I've said it before, I'll say it on the mic, he is good. In ding, 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 he's terrible. I mean, he had that I Quit match with Moxley. Anybody should have a good I Quit match. You just get beat up and bloody. That was one of the worst main event. That was the worst main event I've ever seen on an AEW show. I mean, and then they're friends. Then the next week they don't like each other. Then he saves him in an exploding ring that doesn't explode. Now they're partners. There's really no continuity there, but you should have had, and I know I'm singling Kingston out, Kingston or Moxley, one of them should have got taken out. Should have had the big beatdown going on Darby. Sting's taken out. Punk comes in. Punk makes the save. Him and Darby look at each other, shake hands. At least you would have advanced something. This like we said, let's get Mox to come through the crowd this week. Everybody will sing "Wow" thing, and that's it. That's all the match was for. It was a time killer.
I'm going to be optimistic about the Eddie Kingston one. I actually think with Miro, I think it'll be something. But because of, even for Miro, Eddie Kingston is probably the biggest guy he's challenged in size.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying about good challenge, but the idea of I'm looking forward to having more of a pound for pound size compared to Little Fuego or the Nightmare Family fella. So I'm going to be more optimistic on that. I also like Eddie Kingston. I like that New York gimmick. I like, just being, that's who I am. He came out like on Rampage. He had the DMX shirt. He had his Tim's on. I like his shtick, but yeah, I am looking forward to him in a singles match. But again, maybe it's because I don't have that much thoughts about him in singles match, but I know he's been doing all right in tag, but like, I see what you mean, but I'm being a little optimistic on that. And then the Moxie thing, like I said, it goes into like, either, again, maybe that's why the forbidden door is usually shut, because you can't trust other promotions. That it took 3 call outs and we got a third string guy. Not saying Kojima's big or not has a veteran or experience, but he's not that conversation piece that they had a promo cut about him saying I was going to come, and they're like, psych, I'm not coming over. It was the guy with the blonde hair. I just can't remember that New Japan guy who said to no, the one who's going to fight Lance Archer. Excuse me. I'm all tongue tied thinking about that. The one who replied to Lance Archer said, I'll see you at Tokyo Dome, I believe. But I know Moxley has been calling out multiple New Japan people for a fight on the US soil idea for a while. And this,
we got to find one of them that's got a visa that's cleared, I guess.
Someone who who has their Vax card and everything. They're ready.
And the sad thing is, throwaway. The next match is a throwaway. It's the Nightmare Factory against the Gun Club, and goddamn Nightmare Factory does the job. And you've got their leader in a match against Big Slow or no BS Paul White at the pay-per-view, and he does the job because Paul White stands up and looks at him and like, oh my God, Paul White's on the apron. I get pinned by a gun. I don't know which gun pinned which. I mean, it makes no sense. To me, that made no sense. I don't even know why they had them. It was a short match. I mean, in the bright side, it's not even 10 minutes long. And Big Show, I don't mind, or I keep calling Big Show, Paul White. I don't mind him as a commentator. I actually think he's very good. But to stand up, now QT is going to look at him, and he loses. It's like this pay-per-view match better be, here comes Paul White's music. Choke slam, Paul White's music. It can't be anything more.
I hope that it's in the buy-in. It's not even in the fucking show. Hopefully it's the free YouTube match. But
yeah, it was dumb.
It don't make no sense. And it goes into, there's a lot of conversations I feel. And I feel more bad. I didn't have these real thoughts until we did this podcast. But the idea of like some of the people that they sign in, or like, because like when Paul Wright, hopefully Mark Henry just works on microphone and like just stays in the bag, slowing down conversations, whatever you want to do. But the idea of like the Gun Club, like if you're doing it so that you're trying is like prospects for his sons, but like it's like who whispered in Tony Khan's ear to have like, hey, you need to get, Billy Gunn to come over from WWE's clenches and like get him under our brand. It'll help. And like, I know he was there at the beginning, all that bullshit, but like the idea of like, I don't know if it's like some misinformation from somebody talking to Tony, like, yeah, we should sign him.
Friends getting friends jobs.
Yeah. There's moments, and then they also have that moment too. They're like, oh, AEW is not about friends giving friends, and that's why I want to say Zack Ryder, but it's Matt Cordini or whatever it is. That's why he got to be on AEW for a couple episodes, and then, but no, he's not with us because he's my friend.
He's the champ in GCW right now, causing riots.
Yeah, but like just the idea of it just seems odd, and like, yeah, it was just another. It's not even a good filler match. It was just like, hey, let's get the Gun Club up onto Dynamite for Milwaukee. Like Florida is not the only state that needs to have good matches. Like, you can do it to everyone. You like Wisconsin deserves a good match. You don't need to have the fucking Gun Club. I guess my piece.
They had that, and then you have the hot main event, which was about 2 minutes long, which was about a minute and 30 seconds longer than it needed to be. Brock Anderson against Malachi Black. That match is what it needed to be. Bam, 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 done. Brock shouldn't have got a punch in on him. And then at the end, I did like when Malachi goes to throw the kick and Arn hits the block. And then he got kicked in the balls, then he got his head taken off. But which I was just excited because I'm confident that Brock lost because Arn didn't have his menu with him. So there's a fucking Wawa game plan. And yeah, it was just dumb. And the only thing I can say, I liked it was short, and I liked that they're making this guy a killer. But what I really think they need to do, Cody took off not to the live crowd, because what happens after the show, that don't count. On the television crowd, Cody took off a boot. Malachi Black came back in, kicked his fucking head off. He should be wearing that goddamn boot every week and kicking people with it. And then finally, when Cody comes back, he's going to get his goddamn shoe. I mean, he should literally, have him have stole that boot and be wearing it. And, he kicked Arn. I like that. I wish Arn would get beat up every week. Arn's son needs to shave the front of his hair to look more like his dad. How that was a main event, I have no idea, but at least it was 2 minutes long.
I do wish it goes in those conversations I've had with friends, like who I wish that Tony or even WWE done it before, like look into like fans to possibly do storylines or help with storylines, because like that part right there with the boot, that sounds perfect, especially since that's his finisher, using his foot.
Yeah, so, kick him with the shoe.
Yeah. And then because so now something must have happened with Cody. So again, I don't know if we said it. No, because it just happened.
He's filming that fucking Gong Show, America's Got Talent knockoff. So I think, and that's what I think hurts, like, because of the internet, because fans are smarter. Cody retired. No, he's going to go film his show. Jericho's teasing retirement. Well, he's going on a European tour with his band. You know where these people are going now. It was back in the old day when Hulk Hogan, like, he's got to lose to the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, he's going to make fucking Mr. Nanny. But that wasn't known back then because without the internet. Now you just know where these people are going.
Yeah, because like I guess that's where it goes into, because like he even said it on his little retirement thing. Is like, I know I've got some things out of the ring that's been setting up, but like, you know what I mean? He's trying to be transparent about it, but at the same time, the silence of like him not being there last night, or the silence of 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since he retired. You know what I mean? Just so that he can be a judge for that TBS show. Like, it's not it. You're ruining your own brand in some sense. The diehards, even us, we're discussing it. At the end of the day, it's just a bump on the highway of whatever AEW is doing. But some of these spots or these rough little storylines because, okay, he beat the fuck out of the Anderson part of Nightmare Family. Now he's going to go into Lee Johnson.
Club. Gotta kill that next.
He's going to kill the whole, but he's just going to black mask the whole fucking Nightmare Family is not either pregnant or out of work at the moment. And then what? Cody comes back as Back in Black version of Cody again and like run that shtick like he did with Brody. I'm like, I just wish there was a little bit more future planning when they do missions or storylines, because that's how happened with Adam Page. Like, Adam Page was supposed to have that little push, and then his kid was born. They kind of wrote him off quick. So
you need backup plans for this shit. You have to, if you're going to make booking, especially like AEW can, because they don't do pay-per-views monthly. If you're going to do long-term booking, have a plan B in effect, because look, Matt Hardy broke his nose, a simple spot. FTR, he got hurt, simple spot. Injuries can happen, things can happen. We're in a pandemic, you could catch something. Have a contingency that's just not like, he lost, he's gone, and then don't show him anymore. You got to have some kind of, do the old injury angle. It never gets old.
Or if the idea when you're setting up these stories, all right, Adam, we're gonna probably push you. We're gonna do a big push all the way to the next pay-per-view of you to possibly, but I'm not gonna say right, like, oh yeah, we're gonna make you the champion, blah blah blah. But we're trying to see what goes on to get you to All Out. You have anything going on? We've been thinking about doing this. We're going to do like a 3-month or 6-month run of this push. Oh, I have a child coming and we're 3 months in to our pregnancy. Do the math. Oh, you probably will not be there at the end.
Yeah, so, you clearly know when you knocked up your wife. You can count backwards,
Yeah, so maybe you should, we'll put you on the side because everybody wants you as a champ. But we are trying to worry about our families in this organization, which is cool. But the idea of we have something to sell. So Adam, you can get a championship, but whenever you're ready to run this 6-month window of pushing, we'll get you. So we'll go into this is probably the best audible they got. Christian Cage audible is a good one. But the idea of who we were just talking about, Cody. Hey, Cody, contracts are made 9 months ago, or the idea of you've already done season 1. You just heard green light is going to happen. And you want to be always the guy who introduces these, especially the one who's very close to the teeth of WWE intros going into AEW. So like Malachi is coming over. You're going to run it. What time do you think season 2 is going to happen? Oh, about 2 weeks into Malachi coming over. Sorry, we're not going to use you then. We're going to use somebody else to push Malachi. They could just instantly have done like Malachi running like what they're doing right now. They could have had Malachi be like, I'm making my own Dark Order, but we're not called the Dark Order. We're the Black Order. And like he starts beating the fuck out of Dark Order and taking them into new mask, maybe all black and black. You know what I mean? Just these little gimmicks until they figure out what they want to do with Malachi after this pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
He could have kicked anybody. He could have came and kicked Orange. Maybe he's going to be a good guy. He kicks Omega. He could kick Christian Cage. He could kick Brian Cage. Kick like, all right, we're going to start the feud. Okay, he's got to leave. Yeah, yes. I thought Dynamite this week. I thought a great match. I thought Orange stole the show. I thought Lucha Brothers always have a good match, but on average, I didn't think it was that good of a show. It was a C show at best. For getting ready for a pay-per-view, I thought it was really bad.
I'll say a C for a idea that we are a week away from a pay-per-view. It's a very not needed show for a weekly show that they know that they're always fucking there every week. Like, what do you know? I mean, you guys could put some more effort in, and you didn't have to. If anybody who listens to this is in Wisconsin, they might have had a great time, but you understand, I wanted you guys to have a really good show.
Well, and
because
we're
I
bad
want,
luck. We start doing this show and the program goes downhill.
yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, I was hoping with them going back on tour and they're in Wisconsin and Chicago. I'm like, you guys can come to Michigan. I wish you guys would come to Michigan. And
I wish they'd come here. I'd go see them.
Yeah, I want to go see them. Goddamn, I'll say, goddamn Delvin Cox has seen him 3 times because he lives in Miami. So it's bullshit.
Now you have Rampage. We're following up CM Punk open hot. And I like that Rampage. It's like 3 matches. I like it. I'm good with that. Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express. I know you were happy. It was a great match. Lucha Brothers win. I was really thinking some shenanigans was going to happen and it was going to be a 3-way dance. I was convinced it was going to be a 3-way dance because neither one of those teams needed a job. But my only complaint, God damn it, when is Marco Stunt going to get in the fucking ring? I love Marco. I'm a Marco guy, Mr. Fun Size. I wish he would do something, but the match was great. Jungle Boy can go. Phoenix, Penna, they can all go. Fucking Luchasaurus can go at his size. Marco's animated. He carries a fanny pack like a purse. The Bucks are there. I mean, it was a great match. It's set up for what's going to be, no doubt, the showstopper at the pay-per-view cage match. I thought it was a hot opening. Sometimes I wish, though, that AEW keeps opening with these really hot matches. Somebody should say they need to close with these hot matches because, that match was so good. You got nowhere to go but down.
We even on episode 1 we said that they always have a way to have you need to be there when the show starts. They make it iffy if you want to be there at the end.
Yeah, that's just it. People can change the channel.
Spoiler, I did with my phone. I was like, okay, and then we're going to go into a break. I'm going to flip it and just fiddle around and go back on my app and then check it again. Because my personal thing, again, is because I don't pre-record is pre-recorded. And they obviously during the show, because I was also, at least I was fair. I didn't go looking for spoilers, but I just don't like knowing there are possibilities. If I felt like it, I can go like, all right, I'm going to go check out this website and see what the results were. If I even have to watch it, like there'll be one of these, I bet you money. There'll be one time this week, one of these Dynamite shows or Rampage shows, we might trip on the results. And then you and I will like, you know what? You want to do this on Thursday night? Or, you know what I mean? We'll just do it right out. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Because of like how lackluster it could be, or the idea it was pre-recorded. You're like, yeah, okay. I'm not saying we will, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, and once again, though, then the whole build-up, CM Punk and Darby we're going to have CM Punk. They didn't have no fucking CM. It was a little video package. And all the video package did, this 2-minute package ends. We'll have more of the video package next week after Rampage on the countdown. God damn it. They're just fucking film the two together, or don't do anything. Let's get a video of Punk at the gym training. You can shoot this shit so cheap. The guy works out, have a video of me. He's jogging and the story. Oh, I haven't wrestled in 7 years and Darby's been tearing it up during the pandemic. I got to get back into shape. You can film the shit in the backyard. It won't cost millions. It'll cost nothing. Whatever it costs. Right. AJ could film it on her phone. I would want to see something like that, or maybe even Darby just sitting there and he's just watching a video of Punk from Ring of Honor, or he's just sitting there somewhere. You don't even need him to do anything, or he's skateboarding. He's taking it lightly. Don't highlight that we're going to have Punk Darby and then do a little 2-minute video package. Well, you got Mark Henry just sitting there every now and again going, yeah. Then you have the girl match. You have fucking
Tay Connie.
Yeah, and then the bunny.
Yeah, the bunny.
And the bunny, she's not any good. And she's wrestling, and Jericho must have been bored because she reminds me of Baby from House of 1,000 Corpses. Look at that. Yeah. And then Mark Henry, she crazy. And once again, what purpose did that serve? And then you have Penelope, and I love watching Penelope. She comes down, and at the end they go, "You see that, fans? They could be watching each other's backs." in
Yeah.
the Casino Battle Royal. It was like we could have done an interview where they just said, "Hey, you gonna watch my back in that Casino Battle Royal? I got your back." There you go. I mean, the match it was it's over 10 minutes long. It was bad. It was
Yeah, especially when it's just more bad. There's no push for the bunny. Penelope Ford is a hit and miss. She was there for during pandemic shit, but it's a miss. And to have them work together just to get clothesline over the ropes together, pie against from Nyla. You know what I mean?
yeah, and of course then now the bunny's got to get where they're passing her the brass knuckles. And Aubrey Edwards got real stupid real fucking fast. Because if you watch those early AEW shows, I said, dude, you better watch. She had like authority. I mean, like you thought, oh, this Aubrey, she's going somewhere. She's fucking dumb as shit now. I mean, she was the ref in the death match with Jericho. I think even Jericho referenced in one match, he's like, they better not mess around. They got Aubrey Edwards in there. It's like, so now she's just as clueless as all the other refs that misses everything. But but I think that's become the Rampage. And I hate to say formulaic because this was episode 3. Opening match good, opening match main event, girl match, throwaway match, and that's what every week has been. And this week was no different. It was the main event was first, girl match, and now we have the throwaway main event.
They should have done it. I wish they hope they did a reverse. Like we said, maybe they have some ruts, but like just do a reverse and just be fair. We all know that the Jurassic Express versus Lucha Brothers should be main event. What was there? Oh yeah. Even if it is Kenny Omega, like Kenny Omega could have been the opening.
Yeah,
because
it was open pay-per-views for God's sakes.
Because it was just a gimmick match of the idea of them being the crap out of Caster or whatever. I keep saying his name wrong, but Brian, and he was the one. Obviously, he got the pin because obviously you can't pin Kenny on there no more. So, because that goes into the way that they reversed it. It gave me a lot more time to stew in the idea of if it matters on this match. Like if Kenny gets pinned again, that means he's going to win all out in my eyes. So they obviously have Brian there to be the buffer. Oh no, who knows who's going to win next Sunday?
And even Callis in the interview beforehand, just because his partner's the most worthless, washed up, no talent hack, which was funny. No offense to you, because I do like Callis's promos, but and then Kenny wouldn't tag back in, and that was this. I'm old. That was a WWE Superstars Wrestling match. It was just a throw, and that's when Mark Henry's like, yeah, Callis looked like bubblegum.
I forgot what Mark Henry said, but even during the Lucha Brothers thing, he said something about man, if I had to pick brothers and he said something, he's like, I gotta go with Lucha Brothers, but he had some weird excuse for it.
And then this is all I can hope. And I was hoping, I apologize for my barking dog. I would have, because now they've confirmed, it's all over the news last night and today. Daniel Bryant, they're moving him up to All Out. Have fucking Christian Cage, because he won the Impact belt, no one cares. Christian Cage gets hurt Wednesday, and I see 2 scenarios. On Rampage, you don't even have to get Tony Khan because he doesn't like being TV. Get Christian out there. I'm hurt, Omega, and you guys jump me. I got off the phone with Tony Khan, and this who's taking my place. And I would say Daniel Bryant, but what I'd rather see is this who's taking my place. We got permission. Here's Hangman Adam Page. I don't want to see Kenny, and I mean their match was really good, but Christian was a letdown from the get-go because everybody, myself included, here comes Daniel Bryan. Oh, I bet you it's CM Punk coming back. Oh, it's Edge's old partner. Wow. I mean, he was doomed from the start because they built him up to be this massive surprise, and you get to outwork everyone, and it's like, oh, that guy, nothing against him, but in the realm of things, when you have greater success and impact than you did in WWE, I don't want to see you main event. As good as their match was, that's an Impact main event. That's not my AEW main event.
So you said the news has been saying that he got pushed up to All Out.
Yeah, because I
Daniel Bryan?
guess with the pandemic and the COVID, everything's a little unsure. So that happening at the Arthur Ashe Stadium where they were originally going to have them in New York, like well, maybe not as many people will come. Something could get canceled. That with all these new mandates and all that. Let's just make him at the pay-per-view. You could very easily or just you can't. I don't want to have it be where the same thing where like and now the big surprise. And that's it. And you see nothing else. Because that's all they did for Christian. You get the outward. He just came out with, and that was it. It's do a fucking interview. I mean, you can't just have Daniel Bryan come out and All Out and be like, and that's it. And you see nothing. Let's have him do something. I'm not saying push him into the main event, but goddamn, if you announced on Friday, or if you announced Friday night, Daniel Bryan is filling in and he's going to main event, I guarantee you they'll sell 100,000 more pay-per-views.
Oh, I mean, yes. I wonder how you made it sound because I didn't know. See, that's the thing. Last thing I heard was from you that he's going to be there in New York in whatever September or whatever or October. I was like, now if he came out after the whole championship match, which usually they've been putting the championship match like in the middle, so it's a good time to do it. Then have Daniel Bryan come out and be the next challenger, do the face, and even him doing the whole the kicks, get Kenny down and do his kicks and shit. I think that'd be really cool. But I do want to see him match. That's what I'm getting to. I want to see CM Punk. I want to see CM Punk wrestle. So I totally agree. As long as if Bryan Danielson comes out on All Out, he better at least do his shtick gimmick of hitting. And then we get him start rolling out in Dynamite the next week. That's all I want to.
I get, like Punk, you're going to wait. You're going to pay to see his first match back. I'm fine with actually had to wait a couple weeks. But if I got to see Bryan Danielson just come out at the pay-per-view, do the yes, and then I got to wait fucking 5 months. No, I mean,
there's no way.
And the one thing I got to say before I forget, the hot rumor is that Impact is really trying to get Bray Wyatt. Good. He can go there because, in my opinion, he'll be very unpopular. He's a fucking main event jobber. But what I think no one realizes is like, Bray Wyatt's coming. He's going to reform the Dark Order, which that could be what they're setting up for. He's going to be the Fiend again. Okay. You don't own the name Bray Wyatt. You don't own the gimmick Bray Wyatt. You don't own the Fiend. You don't own the gimmick of the. What's Rotunda's his last name? I don't even know what his first fucking name is. I'm not a fan, but all these gimmicks that everybody want to see, he don't own them. He could do something similar, but he's not going to be Bray Wyatt when he comes there. He doesn't own that name. But to be honest with you, I don't want Bray Wyatt there. I don't know if you're a fan or not. I'm not. I think guys, he jobbed he could have been a big star, but every time he went into the pay-per-view, he did the job. So to me, he's just a main event jobber.
I like Bray Wyatt. I also probably evolves because obviously I'm another big guy who has a beard kind of idea. I'm like, hey, I relate to him. Like Kevin Owens. I like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is different. I'm not saying that. But Bray Wyatt, I do like. I liked his shtick even before the Fiend. I liked him better as the whole little family with Luke and Rowan. But the one thing I heard besides the Dark Order shit was he was supposed to come over as that his famous wrestling family's last name, whatever. I can't remember his uncle's name because
his uncle's Barry Windham.
Yes, he was supposed to be they were supposed to come over as the Wyndham family, and I've heard a whole shtick of him. Actually, Bo Dallas, his real brother, and it was supposed to be Rowan as like a third guy to come over. Again, that's another rumor. I am a little. I agree in the sense of. On paper, like, Bray Wyatt at the end of the day jobbed until this last little couple Fiend pushes where he was the champion. He even had a tag run with Randy Orton, that's a big thing. The idea of but I don't know, just things happen, and I think he would do good, but also I think it goes into, like you said, I think a lot of people will agree. There's too many starving babies in AEW that need time on the camera, that we don't need to have another WWE person. I like Bray. So I don't want to say like, oh, someone who got fired or something out, like, just shit happens. He got let go because I know it was either injury or he was also prepared to come back very soon.
People said he was never really the same mentally after Brody Lee passed, and all speculation. But see, I like what you're saying, because everybody can make fun of Impact now. I make fun of it. It's fucking unwatchable. It became unwatchable when Russo started booking it. But in the early days of Impact, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Frankie Kazarian, all these people you never heard of, all the indie workers. Fucking Jarrett there, but who cares? Christopher Daniels, the X Division. It went down the toilet with, let's get Raven. Nothing against any of these people. Let's get Raven. Oh, they just let go of Booker T. Let's get Mick Foley. Let's get Mick Foley in here. Oh, let's get Kurt Angle in here. Oh, let's get Jeff Hardy in here. AEW could fall into that. I don't want everybody that leaves this company to float over there, because then in my eyes, I'll be like, oh, well, I'm watching all the fucking people that couldn't hack it. It makes WWE to me look stronger. It's like, oh, well, all these people that couldn't cut it over there, they're over here now. I want my AEW to stay, like you said. And all these people that, where's Janella? Why don't Janella fight Kenny Omega? Why is Bray Wyatt coming in to take over the Dark Order? Let's get Luther and Serpentico to take them. They have their own homegrown talent, and I wanted to focus on that.
With Bray also, because, like, again, I'd be actually happy with him, but also at the same time, with hearing like, oh yeah, he's going to do this thing with his brother using the old gimmick name and all that shit, I'm like, I don't know. But also, let's say he get to be something close to Bray. Of course, he can't be Bray because of naming, and also Vince McMahon sneaky. He trademarked the Fiend.
And he gave it quick. To Alexa Bliss. He gave this guy's gimmick to a hot girl who's, I'm sorry, unpopular opinion, she's doing it better. She's live action Harley Quinn.
Yes, but I'd actually like the whole little pre-taped, like the Funhouse murder or whatever it was called. But I'd like that.
Like the sweater on and everything like that. Yeah, was crazy fun. Yeah, that was some funny stuff. I like that. That was good.
But then booking happened with like, all right, we're gonna have this unstoppable Fiend. You know who stops him? Oldberg. You know who can stop him? Like just anybody who's been in the 90s before.
It's time for you to have your Hell in the Cell with Rollins. He's going to beat you, by the way. You know how Randy Orton burned your house? Don't worry, you're going to fight the pay-per-view. He's going to beat you again.
Yes.
They fucked up years ago when he had the lantern and he was Bray and he had the match with The Undertaker. If he would have beat the streak, because Lesnar didn't need to beat that. Actually, nobody needed to beat the streak. Have the guy fucking retire and that'd be something you can't duplicate. But if Bray could have beaten the streak, or even just on a normal pay-per-view, beaten The Undertaker, he's cemented now. But instead, to me, it just became, all right, Bray's going to do, oh, he lost. And I think that's why I started to, and that's not his fault, that's the booking, but every time I was like, here we go. It's Bray's turn. Oh, he lost. And then even with that Harper, too. He lost every fucking, you could repackage him 30 times. He's a fucking jobber. And it does, I understand the whole it's not real, pin me, pay me, but if you're painted out to always lose, your value is going to go down.
I don't remember, but there was a big chance or big stretch between Brock winning and like that Bray Wyatt loss at WrestleMania, right? It wasn't like first year, the next year. No, it was a couple whiles back. But like how you just said, if Bray, like you already ruined the streak. The streak is gone now since Brock. You could have him keep winning, but then there's these certain trademark spots. Like Bray could have won, but they chose, nope, he can't. But they let Roman Reigns beat him once. So I'm like, that's where it gets into like that misconstruing booking shit. But back like, to
that one big fucker. I don't like him. I don't want him over there either. Strowman.
Ron. I don't want him. I don't want him either.
he takes the ambulance and he throws an ambulance and then he gets pinned. You know, or then he's doing all kinds of these feats of strength and he's flipping cars and no one can stop him. Shane McMahon makes, what was the last run? I'm gonna fight you because you're stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm defending stupid people. And then you go 20 minutes with Shane. It doesn't matter if you beat him. That buried you. You were done. You know, it was the booking of these guys was so bad. I really, in my opinion, I think it fucking damaged a lot of them.
I just more because like with Bray, I like how many more people can you have on your roster that are pretending that they work in the dark arts of magic before you're like, wow, we're just a bunch of death metal band t-shirts we're selling for no, like with, it could be just a bunch of Strictly branches. Oh, this one's for Malachi. The other Strictly branch. Oh, that one's for Bray. You know what I mean? It goes into the whole stick of like, you can, like, we don't need, like, Dark Order's a little different now, but at the beginning, they were trying to say we are some dark, sinister looking group, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then Brody came over and kind of gave the comic sense, especially with the behind the scenes stuff. But then like you still have like the Chaos Theory. They look like they're dark and sinister, blah, blah, blah. Malachi is obviously doing his own thing of the House of Black. Darby Allin is another person who looks like he's like a sinister person for no, yeah, you know what I mean? It just goes into like, I know wrestling is definitely the like alt, you know, metal punk rock stuff, and like it goes into comic books and stuff. I get it. It goes like this chick right here behind me on Something's Killing the Children. She has a little bandana that has like these fangs. She looks like a professional wrestler. Yeah. But it just goes into the, I know it's the whole how the generation is, but like when you have everybody look like the same death metal guy, it gets kind of like, who cares? And I think Bray, well, I don't know how they would package Bray. Either way, I don't know how Impact would. I don't know how AEW would. There is something that he had some magic promos that he has cemented in WWE's history now, no matter how they try to remove him.
And they're gonna, I mean, you're gonna have to package it. He can do good comedy, like you said. The Firefly Funhouse, that was funny, and with the puppets and all that shit. But he also could do the dark, the sinister. You'd almost have to package him as like a horror character, which the Butcher and the Blade are basically House of a Thousand Corpses knockoffs. I mean, fucking Jericho even said she was like Baby from House of a Thousand Corpses. You can't have, like you said. Now, one of the reasons I plug again here that I like the Darby shirt. I'm old. I like punk rock music. I like Darby. Darby's a skater. His shirts it has a punk rock look, but he has a punk rock look. Like you said, Malachi Black, he's got that look. You know, we can't have, everyone can't be the same. CM Punk even has that look, you know, with on everything. So, you know, I mean, if anybody could do a good job with Bray, I think it's AEW. I just kind of prefer if they just keep pushing the 50 guys that I don't see on TV, and I'd like to see them elevated. Joey Janella, I really want to see Janella back on TV. I sound like I'm pandering for him, but I'm fine. Put him on TV. He's better than some of the guys on there now.
I don't care. I mean, you might say not or not. Even like, I think Sonny Kiss does a good ring work compared to a lot of the other people that they're highlighting right now. That like, Sonny could have like a true TNT push better than for the belt than like any of these people that he's been calling out.
You know, and Andrade, you know, you're gonna, you know, he's gonna get pushed, but why am I watching Andrade? Why am I not watching so and so? There's so many people that could be on there that, I mean, that just aren't. Everybody should get their due.
There's a lot of people that are on, like, who's been there since almost day one, that should get their dues before some of these more entry level, even before Miro. But Miro is definitely how would I word it? Miro is different.
Imposing in the name.
And then Miro, I think, goes into that Malachi Black idea where I see AEW, if AEW keeps getting people that maybe the fans feel got mistreated at WWE, or because like Aleister Black definitely got the short end of the stick on the WWE run. Miro is a debate. He came out strong. He had WrestleMania almost main event matches with against John Cena, and then his last couple runs, the corporate didn't like, but the fans love. I love Rusev Day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But then like just obviously Vince goes, nope. So I understand where I like Miro, like how it works. Like he got over to AEW and he gets to do what he wants to do in a sense. So, well, go back to the Bray thing, Bray had a great run, no matter what people can say, because he had, even with if maybe his accolades were not registered, but he was a Universal champ, tag champ. I don't know if he ever had. I don't think he's a Grand Slam champ, so I don't think he had all the mid card belts. But the idea of he's a staple into WWE's history now, for just even the idea of innovating those offshoots, or even like the idea of having like the projector go on the ring to make it look like have worms on it, or all the little things. I don't think none of these companies, well, I lie, AEW might be able to do it, but I have the production value to have Bray on their show that works. It's very hard to get to. That's not, if you're not WWE. Like Impact could probably do it, because I don't know if is Impact live or is it pre-recorded.
I think it's pre-recorded.
That might help, because also, and like obviously just how there's not like that, but like I don't think they have that many fans out in the crowd. So I think it could work for the story wise of making him look kind of cool, but I don't know. It was it's pretty bad when we're talking about people that are not in AEW because of how rough it was this week.
Yeah, I don't think it was that fantastic this week. I guess next week we'll have our 2 recaps, and then we'll also do our pay-per-view predictions.
Yes.
So I guess with that, 100-something people watched last week. Thank you so much. Hopefully 200-something people watch us this week.
Hopefully we get 50 people to hit the like button on our YouTube video too, just so you guys know.
Like and subscribe.